talked about Lemony Snicket, the next Netflix series, and we couldn't help but mention the movie with Jim Carrey.
Of course.
And I've been kind of like, after watching this, what happened to Jim Carrey? Because he really hasn't done a lot lately.
Jim Carrey.
Except tweet about
happened to Jim Carrey.
Except tweet about vaccinations and stuff, which
and autism and STDs.
Did what's her name?
Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, did Jenny McCarthy ruin Jim Carrey for everybody?
I'm gonna take a defiant stance here. Yes, absolutely. Jenny McCarthy is the reason that Jim Carrey is no longer a thing.
I remember when Jim Carrey first hit big. Okay, I remember watching In Living Color as a
I was
kid,
about to say,
but
Living
it
Color.
wasn't one of those shows that I was really allowed to watch. I would just catch it here and there.
Right.
And I remember like the Fire Marshal Bill sketches and stuff being super funny. But Ace Ventura hit when I was like the perfect time. It was like 5th or 6th grade, I think, whenever Ace Ventura came out. And it was just...
Was it that early in the 90s?
Yeah, dude. When you're that young and a movie like that comes out, it just, it blows your mind because it was so funny to me. And I became a really big Jim Carrey fan there for a long time.
I mean, the 90s were great to Jim Carrey.
Oh, they were.
You had The Mask, you had frickin' The Cable Guy.
Right. Ace Ventura Pet Detective came out in 1994.
I thought
which
it was
6
in the
years
mid-90s,
before I graduated.
yeah.
Or 5 years before I graduated.
Because The Mask also came out in 94.
They did. They both. Here's the deal. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber all came out in 1994. I'm looking at his filmography right here. And I saw all 3 of those in the movie theater when they came out. And I was like a huge Jim Carrey fan. Then, Batman Forever came out and he was the Riddler. And then the sequel to Ace Ventura. And then The Cable Guy. And then Liar Liar, The Truman Show, Man on the Moon. So then you've got him doing these more
trying to go into those dramatic
roles. And then
those 2 movies specifically, The Truman Show and Man on the Moon, are 2 of my favorite movies.
They're all great. And
they're great.
And so here you got Me, Myself, and Irene, which was him teaming up with the Dumb and Dumber guys again, the whatever brothers.
I remember loving the shit out of that movie.
And then you've got Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which I really think that was the last. Yeah, that was the last Jim Carrey movie that I saw in the movie theater.
Yeah, actually, I think I did see that one in the theater as well. But I remember not particularly enjoying that one.
Yeah, so you've got The Majestic after that, then Bruce Almighty, which I know I saw The Majestic, I just don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, he's a Hollywood writer, gets blacklisted, put on the communist list or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he crashes off a bridge and gets amnesia, and he apparently looks exactly like this guy that grew up in this town and moved away.
Oh, yeah, and The Majestic is a movie theater,
yeah,
right?
and The Majestic is the movie theater.
Okay, and then, so Bruce Almighty, he gets powers of God.
I loved that movie.
It was a great movie. And then Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Which was another dramatic fucking mindfuck of a movie.
Dude, yeah, it is.
Yeah, and what's crazy to think about is the guy that directed Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind went on to direct Be Kind, Rewind.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, with Jack Black and Mos Def.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Where they make different versions of movies. You haven't seen it?
Oh, that does sound familiar.
They're sweeted, is what they call it. So then you've got Lemony Snicket in 2004. Fun with Dick and Jane, never saw that. Number 23 in 2007.
See, and both this and Fun with Dick and Jane, I have seen both of those. I know I have. Dick and Jane is actually kind of funny. I enjoyed that one. Taya Leone's in that as Jane.
I never saw that one.
It's decent.
I saw the number 23.
Yeah, that was a weird.
It was a weird, more like a horror type movie. Then you've got Horton Hears a Who. And then you've got Yes Man, which I don't recall seeing that one. Oh, yeah. No. That's the one where he has to say yes to everything. Yeah. Is that the one where he sees the guy and he's about to commit suicide and he goes
up and plays Jumper?
And he plays Third Eye Blind?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Rhys Darby is in that movie and he's hilarious.
That's the guy.
Rhys Darby? Yeah.
That's the guy that we were talking about.
I thought, no, the name just came to me when you said Yes Man because I remembered, hey, Ka.
Yeah.
How are you, Ka?
So then in 2009, you've got I Love You, Philip Morris. Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
It is good. He plays an inmate who falls in love with this dude, and it's a dark comedy. It's great. A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Which I saw that, I remember we talked about the Christmas movie segment, and I talked about going back and watching all the different versions of A Christmas Carol I
yeah.
could find. I watched that one. It was pretty good. Mr. Popper's Penguins. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that when it came out, but I was like, nope, I'm out.
Right. And then you've got the incredible Burt Wonderstone, which I saw, and it wasn't that good.
No, it was not. It was not very
Steve
good.
Carell,
Yeah.
I believe, was in that. And
Steve Buscemi was in that too.
and it just bombed terribly.
Yeah, it was pretty bad though.
Then you've got Kick-Ass 2.
I
which
didn't see that one.
I
but
saw
heard
that,
it
and
was
he
bad.
had a very small role in Kick-Ass 2. Dumb and Dumber 2, which I
saw
didn't
that one,
really think
and
that
it's
was that
pretty
good.
bad.
And okay, so then the last two on his filmography are The Bad Batch and True Crimes, which I haven't seen either of those.
Yeah,
things.
I have never even
I don't know what
heard
they
of
are.
either of those things.
So, I mean, there was a time when Jim Carrey was like huge and probably commanded a huge salary.
Well into the early aughts,
Right.
too.
But now it's just, I mean, it seems like these last few movies that he did, with the Burt Wonderstone, Kick-Ass 2, Dumb and Dumber 2, none of those movies were huge movies.
I mean, because they were bad.
Yeah. So it's kind of a shame that he's kind of fallen off because, there's a lot of fantastic movies here. He got paid $10 million for Dumb and Dumber, though.
The original?
Let's see.
The 94 one?
Let's see. He stated visualizing a $10 million check given to him for acting services rendered, placed the check in his pocket, and 7 years later received a check for $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber.
Huh.
So, I mean, hey.
Yeah?
He doesn't really necessarily have to work, I guess. He's
I mean,
probably got millions upon millions of dollars saved up, right?
Probably just keep tweeting about vaccines and autism.
Autism and vaccination. So there's this story on Wikipedia about him. Apparently he suffers from depression. But
I mean, most comedians do.
Yeah. So there's this story about him dating this chick on Wikipedia. Where is it at?
Like, okay, you're saying it's on Wikipedia.
Right.
And I mean, generally, I guess people try to source their stuff for Wikipedia.
So in 2016, someone whose last name is White's mother, Bridget Sweetman, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Jim Carrey. In this lawsuit, Sweetman's attorney states that Carrey had undergone a test for sexually transmitted infections and purposely hid the results from Mrs. White, or Ms. White, whom he was intimately involved with, and failed to inform her that he had tested positive for hepatitis A, herpes 1 and 2, and chlamydia. And to make matters worse, Carrey then proceeded to have unprotected sex with Miss White with full knowledge that he was STD positive. Sweetman herself later issued a statement. These documents show that Jim Carrey has lied to the media, the public, and the court. Carrey has now shown for what he is, a dishonest Hollywood celebrity who thinks he can say anything and fool people just because he's famous. He's got like a dirty dick, dude.
Yeah, like if that is true, and I mean it's on Wikipedia, so it's obviously true. That's fucking horrible. Like he might be one of the worst people.
Right. So there's another wrongful death lawsuit against him for the same person that died, claiming that he used his immense wealth and celebrity status to illegally obtain and distribute prescription drugs involved in her death.
So not only did he give her all the STDs, but he also gave her all the drugs so that she could overdose.
I guess. Well, I mean, that's what the lawsuit alleges. Of course, I mean, who knows if it's going to be, if he's going to be found guilty or not.
Right.
But I don't know. When you've got millions upon millions of dollars, you also have a big target on your back, too.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought that was interesting when I read the article. I was like, huh. So we also know that he's very against vaccinations, which is stupid.
Yeah.
And you should always vaccinate your children.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, they might get the mumps.
Yeah.
Or measles.
Yeah, these things that we,
thought we had
eliminated 100 years ago.
So what do you think about vaccines, folks? Leave us a comment below.
Tell us how all our children are going to be autistic.
Send us a link to your dumb pseudoscience website that proves that vaccines cause autism.
Yep.
Yeah, you idiots.